Women
Okay.
on beauty.
We are live.
Whoop, whoop.
Okay. Well, I'll do the questions today.
Okay.
Hands up if you enjoyed the reading.
It was the best.
Guys, it was hard. Oh my gosh.
Those 2 chapters were on the next level.
Intense.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Okay, so the first question is asking us, what power do these women claim that women have?
Okay, let's see.
Well, it's a great question.
Well, I think, like, if we look at the stories, well, I mean, from the poem, I guess she's trying to say that, like, her power and her beauty has power to get her something.
Yeah.
Like, she's trying, like, she's talking about getting the empire, yeah? For example, the line that she uses in the 4th paragraph, it says, "Thy rights are empire, urge no meaner claim."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So for me, what that's saying is part of the thing that they're saying about beauty is this woman has the right to go for it. You know what I mean? Use it as a tool to get what you want.
Yeah. She I think she kind of like Sister Ho said for this assignment, like she is talking about using beauty kind of like as a weapon. Like her language, she's saying like gird thyself with grace, or collect thy store of bright artillery, or blushes and fears thy magazine of war. So she's basically saying that women can use these things kind of like as weapons.
Yeah, I totally agree with you there about like the poem. I'm like trying to pull everything up right now. But when it's talking about that, like kind of how you're saying, like all the things that she's like arming herself with are like, they're not like things that you would like arm yourself if you're like going like into the battle of like whatever it is, but like they're all like soft things. And I thought that was a really cool like juxtaposition of like using beauty, like soft, like sweet objects as like this like straight like super like instead of using a sharp pointy object, you're using grace. Like what? But I really like that like dynamic of it.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Goodness gracious, I'm tired.
The other lady, I guess, because I have my phone here and I screenshotted some stuff as I was reading it today, so I'm just going to try and This was an interesting line. I'm going to read it out. It says, men indeed appear to me to act in a very unphilosophical manner when they try to secure the good conduct of women by attempting to keep them always in a state of childhood. Bit of a tongue twister. But if we're talking about the power that women have, it's like there's the very fact that women, I guess one of the things I think they're trying to say is the very fact that a woman has this beauty, this thing that a man will act in a certain way to try and get that, or to try to get them to act in that way.
Yeah.
And even though the man might be trying to suppress them or whatever, it's still a power, because that power causes something else to move or to act in a certain way.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was interesting about that little liner came from the second chapter of the wolf of that lady. What's her name?
Wollstonecraft. Wollstonecraft, yeah.
I thought that was interesting.
Right. I'm trying to remember if this is the same person, but I remember learning about it in what is that? Let me see. I'm trying to remember. Sorry, I'm like perusing the internet to see if it is, but
No, you're good.
there's like, I think it's her, but I'm not 100% certain. But it's like, she like grew up in like a poor home or something like that, and so her dad would like teach school basically, and then she like, or no, what happened? She like got kicked out of like school, and because like they basically told her like she doesn't need to learn anything else. Like it was like 3rd grade, and they're like, you don't need to know anything else. Like that's it. And she was like what the frick? Like I have so much more to learn and stuff like that. And so she like opened like a school for girls or something like that. I can't remember what the exact details are, but I'm gonna find it if it's her. But
Okay.
I swear, because like she's like super into education and everything, and like has like, and like making sure that women like have that ability to gain an education, because like wasn't like the biggest deal to like educate your children and whatnot. Well, like women or like women's education wasn't like a intellectual sort of thing. Like their education was to educate their children, basically. I guess, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I think you're right about that. I was doing some research on her, and I read something similar to that, how she got kicked out or something like that.
Yeah.
And then she went
was
on
like
to
super
write
young.
like Frankenstein, or the story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she like got she got like, there's like so many crazy stories about her. She like got kicked out or something like that, and then she like, there was like some school in her home, and she had like a best friend. I think her name was like Jane or something like that, and they like taught a bunch of stuff. But like, and I was so about the thing like writing Frankenstein and stuff like that. So the guy who she married, Percy Shelley, the guy who wrote the last thing that we had to read. So he's like a super cool guy. He was supposed to like marry his cousin basically, and like all this stuff. Like his life was like a freaking like soap opera. It was crazy. I remember learning about it in my literature class, and it was like, I feel like I'm watching like a soap opera. It's crazy. There's so many like twists and turns. They like ran away together to London, and then he like got married to like his professor's daughter or something like that. Is crazy. I can't remember all the details. Clearly, but it's crazy. So I think that like even that like probably has like a really big impact on her life, like being kicked out of school and like having to grow up with like with all these standards and stuff like that of like what she's not supposed to do. And so like when like she did marry Percy, like she was breaking so many rules like doing that. So I feel like she just kind of has like that sort of spirit of like, I really like don't care, and I'm gonna get what I want because I deserve what I want. Not like there shouldn't be any limitations on me just because I'm a girl. Like that was my thought process.
Yeah, cool.
That was like what I was thinking when I was reading her stuff, because I totally went off topic of what we were talking about, but that's oops.
That's okay. We can move on to the next question then.
Yeah.
Are women portrayed as inferior to men in these writings?
No way. Well, I feel like in Wollstonecraft, I don't know how to pronounce, however it's pronounced in actuality, but I feel like she like definitely like acknowledges that it's a thing that women at the like are inferior to men at the time, but she just like keeps like pointing out like why they aren't, you know.
It's kind of interesting because it's like how the host said, she's like that Wollstonecraft's like open to the idea that they are inferior against men, but she doesn't really care much about it, but she kind of slams it at the same time.
Yeah, like this part, it's like something about like describing our first frail mother, though when he tells us women are formed for softness and sweet attractive grace, I cannot comprehend his meaning, unless he meant to deprive us of souls and insinuate that we are beings only designed by sweet attractive grace and docile blind obedience to gratify the senses of men when he can no longer soar on the wing of contemplation. Like she totally just like slammed him, like totally just like insulted him, like unless this is what you actually meant, you're stupid and wrong. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like she totally sees it. Like,
yeah, I think she's definitely. I'm like personally, she doesn't believe women are inferior, like you guys are saying, but she's definitely calling men out for how they've portrayed women.
definitely.
I think in chapter 2, in the 12th paragraph, so she says, I may be accused of arrogance, still I must declare what I firmly believe, that all writers who have written on the subject of female education and manners, from Rousseau to Dr. Gregory, have contributed to render women more artificial and weak characters than they otherwise would have been. So I think she's definitely acknowledging that men have had a huge effect on how women act, you know, and how they feel.
Yeah.
I think in the first, in the poem too, I also think that that writer does not show that women are inferior, but I think that she picks up on the things that maybe would be inferior, but uses them almost to like their advantage.
Mm-hmm.
I guess what I'm trying to say is like, you know, the delicateness of women, the beauty of women and everything, softness and all those things. He kind of says, like, as we know, that uses them as a weapon, but she's definitely not saying that they're inferior. She's saying that you're equal to, if not deserve more.
Right. Yeah.
Like, because she's in the poem, she's saying you're using your beauty to get the kingdom or to get the empire or whatever. That's not saying that you're inferior at all.
Mm-hmm. I think there's I not so much like entitlement, but like you deserve like everything that this is saying. Like you like natural rights. Like you deserve, like you're entitled to like have all these things. You're entitled to be equal to men. You're entitled to be able to go and like be who you are and not have people like only talk about like your pretty face and talk about all this stuff. Like it's more than you know. Like I don't know. If that makes sense. Like
Yeah.
there's like so much power behind like what she's saying. And I think that she just does it in like such a nice way, because like you do see like feminist writings where like they do get like really crazy and like you're like, oh wow, like this is so many words. But like I feel like she just does like such an excellent job at like depicting like both sides of it in a way. Like she recognizes it.
Yeah.
She's very straightforward, like don't get me wrong, like she's very, very straightforward about the whole thing. Like insulting in ways, but like I feel like I like the way that she writes.
Yeah.
He writes good.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I read that was really interesting? In chapter 2, let's see where it is. In the 58th paragraph, I think. So she's saying, she says, women were made to be loved and must not aim at respect, lest they should be hunted out of society as masculine. So basically, she knows that there's like a big stigma against women who become well educated and try to gain power in like a male society. But if they do, then they'll like be called manly, you know, or stuff like that, just for demanding the same kind of respect that men do. I thought that was really interesting.
She that next paragraph, she actually goes on to, she goes to town about that. Yeah, she says like the passive women make the best wives. You know, like if they aren't educated or whatever. Does that make sense? Like, yeah. And she goes on to basically slam that. Let us see how such do the women who, by the extent of a few superficial accomplishments, have strengthened the prevailing prejudice, merely contribute to the happiness of their husbands. Oh, that's deep.
Yeah. How'd she like to be her husband?
Wow.
That's crazy.
you know what? Like even today, this would be seen as like, wow. You know, can you imagine
Mhm.
in the 1700s? She must have been considered like out of her mind.
Crazy.
You know, like completely
Yeah.
out of her mind. Super forward
Yeah.
thinker. It's amazing.
Yeah. There's like so many writings, and I'm like, wow, people are so smart. Wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can. In a bit. Yeah. What's our next question?
That's a good thing. The next question is, do women need to rely on men in these writings?
Do women need to rely on men?
I would think in the poem, definitely not.
I guess, though, it depends on how you look at it. Maybe yes, like in order to achieve that empire.
Well, yeah, because it says in the 1, 2, 3, 4,
That's true.
5th stanza, it says, "Make treacherous man thy subject, not thy friend. Thou mayest command, but canst be free." So, like, even though, like, it sucks, like, they're not supposed to, like, even though guys suck, I'm just kidding. Like, but, like, you don't have to be, like BFFs with them or anything like that. But, like, you can't have an empire without subjects. Like, I think that's, like, what she's trying to say. Like you
Yeah,
can't be in control of this great thing without men, you know?
And I think too, like even in the other ladies' writings, Wollstonecraft, like we're talking about how women's role, you know, and how they're going to be good mothers and everything and etc. Like you need men to facilitate that. You know what I mean?
right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like if I'm reading parts of it was hard to read, but if I'm reading parts of it correctly, then you know, when men are needed to fulfill their part. You know what I mean? Like to fulfill each other's role.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I think yes, but in the negative context that maybe the question's being asked, I would say no.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I have nothing else on that.
All right, the next question is Mary Wollstonecraft points out that beauty was important to women because it helped them find a man to rely on. Wow. Okay, that kind of goes again. Well, no, we do agree that women rely on men to fulfill their potential, but not necessarily to. Yes, okay, we couldn't answer that question.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mary Wollstonecraft points out that beauty was important to women because it helped them find a man to rely on. Does Barbauld agree with the idea that women need to rely on men? Well, yes, but not in the same way that I think Wollstonecraft. Well, Barbauld is saying that, like, I mean, probably in those times, only a man could build an empire. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So in that regard, yes. That's my answer. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. I think, yeah, she's pretty much saying that at least in that time, just by herself, like a woman couldn't get as far as she wanted to without a man. And I think, like personally, I think that men and women need each other, like no matter what it is.
Yeah. I'm gonna try and see. I'm just trying to look for another thing. I think no, because let's have a look at the last sentence of that poem. It says that separate rights are lost in mutual love. So I think she's trying to say that, like, women deserve the best, and because of their beauty, they deserve the best. But if they're in love, then they're separated rights of what they have. It's kind of like it's void because of the mutual love that they have for one another. And I think in order to obtain that, men need to rely on women, and women need to rely on men.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's like such like forward thinking too, like how she like recognizes how they need each other. Like I don't know, like it's just so I like it. I don't even know what words to use right now, but
It's not easy.
yeah, it's good stuff. I think that like another thing is like that women like become like that like better, I guess, like when they do like use like not use men but like utilize men, like keep them in their lives and have like that balance, like they become better. I was just like reading the last little bit of the poem, and it says, subduing and subdues, thou shalt find thy coldness soften and thy pride give way, and then abandon each ambitious thought. And like I thought that that was like cool, like after that's happening, like once they do reach that point, then that's when they like lose like that pride and stuff like that.
Yeah. I found it on a paragraph for you, Daniel.
Oh, sweet.
Chapter 3, paragraph 20. Women are everywhere in this deplorable state, for in order to preserve their innocence, as ignorance is furthest in turn, truth is hidden from them, and they are made to assume an artificial character before their faculties have acquired any strength. Taught from their infancy that beauty is woman's scepter. The mind shapes itself to the body, and roaming round its gilt cage, only seeks to adore its prison. So I think what she's trying to say is that the beauty, right, is from a young age, is like they're being taught that beauty is their scepter, and that's what's going to get you somewhere in life with a man.
Right.
And she's talking about how it's a prison, like say your mind shapes itself to the body, and then you're just like constantly seeking after that thing that you're taught. As she said, only seeks to adore its prison. So I think that can help.
Oh, that's awesome.
Going back to some of those other questions, pretty straight up. Okay, that was the last question. Does anyone else have anything they'd like to share?
I think I'm good.
Okay, good. Daniel, are you good, or do you have anything else that you need us to help you with or to discuss?
I don't think so. I think I'm good.
Okay, well,
Awesome.
thanks for the teacher, Emily. Obviously, Amelia, she probably would have contacted you, but she's caught up at a visa office, probably trying to get a visa to either New Zealand or Australia to attend a funeral.
Okay.
Yeah. So just letting you know. Okay, guys, thanks for the hangout.
Right.
I think we've got another one Friday.
Okay.
Yes.
If we could get a contact of Amelia, do you think we could maybe do it on Thursday or tomorrow?
Tomorrow?
Yeah. If not, I can just send notes, but I just have a really, really busy day tomorrow.
Do you want to do it tomorrow?
I'm not tomorrow, on Friday.
Oh, so you want to do it Friday?
No, it's due on Friday, isn't it?
Yeah, it's due Friday.
Like, do it Thursday.
Oh, I get you. Yeah, I mean, I'm personally okay with that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
If we
it
can get in
should be
contact
okay.
with her, sure. If not, I can find time and work it out.
Okay, I should be good to do that.
Okay.
Wait a
Awesome.
sec. Just before we go, hang on, let's check that.
Do you want to stop the hangout?
Ah, yes. Okay, cool.